Steve, I went to Politicon, the big political conference here in LA. I got to ask questions of Chris Christie, Ann Coulter, all sorts of people, prominent politicians and political figures. And I also talked to attendees. There was a common theme, and it was a mistrust of government data. I talked to one attendee, and I told her that the rate of uninsured had been flat over the past few years at around 8 or 9% in the country. And she said, no, it had to be around 70. What do you say to people who don't trust the government data?
Well, I would say we have very professional, non-politicized civil servants who do their very best work. It doesn't mean that because some things are statistical, it doesn't mean things are perfect. There are certainly areas of the government, particularly at state and local, where people don't collect the data quite as well as they do at the federal level. But I also say, look, if people really think there's a problem, then it's incumbent on them as citizens to make it a priority to get this stuff right. I was actually talking to Senator Bill Bradley today, and he was talking about that being an important theme for some of the work he's doing with Paul Volcker and others, is to make sure people understand the civil servants in this country really do a very good and very professional work. And I think people have to really appreciate and recognize that.
One of the numbers that Ann Coulter called out specifically was the number of undocumented, unauthorized immigrants, the estimate of that in the government, which has been flat at around 11 million to 12 million over the past decade, essentially, which seemed implausible to her. We've talked a lot about that number. What do you say to suspicions that that number is actually much higher?
Well, that one's an estimate, and it's the government's best estimate, but it's not prepared by politicians. It's prepared by professional statisticians. And it's the best number we have. And if people don't think it's good enough, then somebody ought to put real effort and energy towards convincing people to put more money into to do even more analysis. But my guess is it's pretty darn good.